This is Shivang Sharma, this side from Atharva Institute of Management Studies. Welcome to another episode of IT Talks, episode number 16. And today our topic is how to use technology or the role of technology or strategic planning in technology in small and medium businesses. Today with me, I have my co-host, Ms. Dhanlakshmi Gainer. If I'm pretty much sorry if I have pronounced your surname very wrong. She's also an MMS student, and luckily she's also my batchmate. I've been very lucky to have found such batchmates. And also once again, welcome to Mr. Vinay Mistry, sir. I am pretty privileged that I am having a second episode with the sir, and I had a very great experience last time. And on our very request, he has agreed to come again on the show and share his experiences. So I'll just introduce Vinay Mistry sir once again to all the viewers who have been joining us new recently. So Vinay Mistry sir is a consulting CIO for small and medium businesses with his immense knowledge in technology, database, and cloud. He is helping SMEs in their journey of technology. He is helping customers to plan the strategic journey to the cloud as a CIO to SMEs. He has helped small and medium businesses to crave and implement their path to digitalization. Vinay sir is very active in Oracle community and being awarded as Oracle ACE for his outstanding efforts to share his knowledge with Oracle community. Vinay sir is on board of All India Oracle Users Group and manages communications as well as the Mumbai chapter of AIOUG. Presently, Vinay sir is a founder and consulting CIO at CoEqual Associates. So basically, as you know, in the introduction itself, it is said that majorly sir helps those people who are setting up their businesses, who have their small and medium scale businesses. And technology is something which is a necessity right now. Like previously there was only four necessity for a person, that was a shelter, food, time, and you needed money. But now technology is one of the most important things to survive. So on that topic only we'll have introduction, we'll have a word with sir. So before starting with strategic planning, sir, or before understanding what this is, how do you strategic plan things, or how do you do technology in business? So I want you to basically tell us what do you basically mean by strategic planning? What actually is strategic planning, sir?
Okay, thanks Shivang. Thanks for a nice introduction. Good morning, Dhanlakshmi. Good morning to all the viewers across the community here, Bill. I'm being fortunate to come for the second time on the IT Talks for All. Thank you for inviting me. And I've been watching few of the episodes of late. It's been very informative for us as well. So. Okay, so going forward to Shivang's first question, what is a strategic planning? So I feel it is one of the best plans of
I guess I lost the connection. We'll just wait for sir to join in.
Yeah.
So basically, Dhanlakshmi, like till the sir joins in, I would like to know, because as you are also an entrepreneur, you have your own, you have been trying to make up your own startups. So
Yes.
how do you understand the role of technology in your businesses? Like till the sir joins in, we have to.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
why. Yeah.
Role of technology, like from my point of view, would be giving exposure to your business. People should know what your business is, and hence you can use the technology. Nowadays, social media is very active in that case. So all you have to
Mm-hmm.
do is develop a content which will provide value to your customers.
Okay. Okay.
that
Okay.
is that is the first motto we follow, as like what a small little business we have, we follow that. Okay, whatever you are posting on social media, that should provide value to the customers. If they think that you are giving something to them, some knowledge, some value, some idea, something, some inspiration, some motivation, anything, they will come back to you. And that is what we eventually want. We want our customers to come back to us. We just do not want somebody to. One second, sir.
Yeah.
extremely sorry I got disconnected.
No worries, sir. No
No
worries, no
issue,
worries.
sir.
So I just asked Dhanlakshmi because Dhanlakshmi is herself an entrepreneur. She has started some of her small businesses. So I just asked her that what was the role of technology you think can play in your business. And I guess as sir helps out in small and medium scale businesses, I guess he will be the very best person for you to guide for the future.
Yes,
Yes,
Definitely.
sir.
definitely.
Yes,
So
sir. You can
yeah.
continue. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so let me just requit. For me, a strategic planning is choosing the best path to certain objectives. Let it be a digital transformation objectives, or maybe it is your business objectives, your personal objectives. So that planning is the only thing is that those plans should be very comprehensive, sustainable, and should be based on the need of the objective. So this is what I feel the strategic planning is all about.
Okay. So my next question would be, whenever we start to set up a business, we do not exactly know what to do. So we like go on the normal planning, like which stepwise we should this, and this. So what the difference is that within the normal planning and the strategic planning? What is the difference?
So as I said, there are several ways to reach objective, right? So you can reach objective from path A, taking A 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, which is your one path, and you can say ABC steps. So you just have to make sure that when you do a strategic planning, so you have got multiple plans. That is your basic planning. Then you go ahead and understand based on what is the value I'm getting out of the each of the plans. Number two, how it complements my objectives. Because most important thing is to complement your objectives. If it's not complementing your objectives, it's of no use. Third thing is how cost effective it is. When you are doing the business planning, you have to see how cost effective it is. You have to understand what is going to reduce my capital expenditure, because when you start business, you don't have everyone doesn't start with a lot of money, right? So these are the few things based on what you can choose the best path to reach those objectives, and that's what I call it as strategic planning. So when you're saying you're taking care of multiple aspects of your business or your business needs or your objective needs, that is something what you have to do it when you're doing a strategic planning. Normal planning is you would just say I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, but then you are aligning the steps with something like a business need or something like an objective need, and then coming up saying that okay, path A is something what I want to go for. That is known as strategic planning.
Okay, so as you explained that there are various paths where there are various directions when you go for the strategic planning. So I'm pretty much sure that every planning has a definite number of steps or definite steps that has to be taken. So what are the steps of the strategic planning? What are the steps you need to follow when you're doing a strategic planning?
So when I say strategic planning, I can say from the tech perspective because I'm more on that areas of the business. I'm because the way we do is with all any of our customers, we sit with them, we analyze their needs, we analyze their business, how they are running their business, their way of business, way of working across their all IT, all business processes. We analyze their needs, analyze their wants, and on that basis, we do our research that what is the best things we can build for that company from the technology perspective, or what is the best thing we can tell them that you should go for this XYZ kind of a product. Then we start building different plans based on effectiveness to cost, effectiveness to their budget planning, their 3 years, 4 years budget plan, so that it is not a burdensome to them. Second thing is we have to make sure the business is sustainable. If we introduce something and the business starts losing revenue, makes no sense, right? So we also think from that perspective. So we do all these things, research plans, we build those plans, and then we analyze each of the plans which is going to give me uh, what value it is going to add to the business, how sustainable it is over a period of 5 years, how it is going to cost that person to sustain the technology for 5 years. So your TCOs, your ROIs, everything is to be calculated when you are doing a planning. So based on multiple plans, we come up with a plan which is go-go situations for all of these aspects of strategic planning. And then with that is the day we select the best plan, and then we further go into core planning, budgeting, micro budgetings, and stuff like that. So to be very frank, there are the chief foundation is the analysis of business needs, and that's where everyone fails.
Okay. Sir, you just described that how much tech is important, like when you're starting a business or in the small scale, when you're starting a business in a small scale. So I would actually know that is it really beneficial, or like the tech can be used only for the big scales, or like how it can be implemented in the small scale businesses?
So, okay, so during pandemic, if you see, there are hundreds of schools who have become digitalized, right? Just think about it. If there was no pandemic, do we really have Zooms and Microsoft Teams and Google Meets in schools? We never had that, right? We never had Jamboards in schools, right? There are very few fortunate schools who were, charging or were having hefty fees. They were having all these tools. But today, they have to adopt to the new way of working due to pandemic forcefully, but they had to do it. So it is not the scale of the business which defines your technology transformation or technology usage. It's your business needs always. So when you are doing a startup or when you are a small organization, and if you are not a technical technology startup, then too you require some kind of technology to help you build your business, build your brand, build your market your products, build your brand, and then start say a basic thing that you want to take payments. Now in pandemic, you're not going to take cash going to everyone's place, right? Then you go ahead and have a payment links. So it is not that technology is only for the bigger people. Technology is for any scale of the businesses. Only thing is you have to understand what business need fits to my technology requirements. If you fail to understand that, you're going to go overspend it. And when you overspend, when you are a small organization, it impacts a lot. So exact, you just need to understand this is my need and this is what I can spend on technology over a period of time. So it can be if you want to do 10 things, you will do two things first. Then once your business scales, you will do another two things. So you will actually plan this way that over a period of 2 years. See, any business takes 1,000 days to build. So in those 1,000 days, at what stage I'm going to introduce what technology that helps. And it is nowhere written that technology can be used for the big companies. Okay, a small startup can start with using basic technology, what its businesses needs. So we always start with branding and marketing, right? So marketing right now is everything on social. So it's not something which is tech based.
Okay, so yes, perfectly described. So, but then there is this question, like before, like I have this question in my mind that definitely we are talking about technologies in small scale and big scale industries, and even in the medium scale. But before that, I would like to understand what is the role of the technology in the business, because businesses were going on pretty well before the technology arrived also. So if you talk about the industrial revolution, so at that time, that was the initial days wherein the technology started to come into the picture. But before that also the businesses were happening. So what is the major role of the technology and how is it helping businesses?
So when you say, I don't remember the different phases of industrial revolution, but just think about it, automobile industries. Okay, so we had normal lathe machines when the basic automotive industry started, and everything was built on something which are mechanical machines. Over a period of time, your assembly lines, your entire product base or entire manufacturing units, they brought CNCs into place. So when they brought CNC, they achieved quality, right? They achieved quality, they achieved a sense of responsibility that saying that my product is not going to fail, right? So it's to be very frank, businesses were happening earlier also, businesses are happening now also. There are traditional businesses which are going on without technology. They don't need technology because they have got set proven business processes. But now, when you want to scale up or you want to build, you want to sustain your business, you want to scale up. See, your inflation keeps on rising, right? You are spending a lot of money. You are spending a lot of you're doing a lot of investments, right? So these investments, how you can reduce those investments and get more returns. That's what is business all about, right? So technology will help them doing this. So yes, businesses were running earlier also, businesses are running now also. There are no issues with it. But today, if you want to sustain your business, you want to increase your business, or you want to do savings based on your current balance sheets, then you have to take care of technology. Because today, even if you see today, the labor has become so expensive, right? Today, having a person doing just data entry in your office may charge you 10, 15,000 rupees. And with the new government policies coming up, they are going to have minimum wages even for for these kind of resources. So your labor is going to go expensive, and how you can save money there is by using technology. So it's not that earlier businesses were working; those businesses are working today itself. So it's not a problem at all. Traditional businesses are there. They have got a stronger business processes, but they are very heavy on resources. So how you can make your business limber and light on resources, technology will help you with that.
Okay. Sir, like you just answered my one question. I was going to ask the same question, that is there no survival for the traditional businesses? So you said yes, they can survive, but they have to scale up their resources, right? So like
Definitely.
if someone want to inculcate a business now, if he wants to start a business now, and he wants to use the bare minimum of the technology for now, like which is freely available or etc., how the one should start with it?
So one should start with, see, uh, when you say technology, it has to complement your business. Okay. So when you are starting up, you need to understand that. So there are a lot of incubations have IT cells. Like Atharva has an incubation center, right? So where I'm helping them to start with understanding that what kind of technology a startup should have. But when I talk to these people, I make sure that they come up with ideas what technology they can use, because startup is there, business is there, idea is there. So when you got idea, you have to understand that what technology is going to complement your idea. So saying that starting point has to be, you have to invest in building your startup's brand, building your startup's first maybe first 100 or 200 or 1,000 transactions, how we are going to achieve it. The best way and the simplest way is go digital, go social. That's the way you're going to start. You can see small companies, small startups are selling everything on Instagram, right? They
Yes.
don't even have got e-commerce portal. You don't need an e-commerce portal to sell anything. You can understand that, okay, your concentration has to be on your idea rather than just concentrating on technology, because at initial level the idea that matters, and the idea and the execution of that idea that matters. At a level you will start investing in technology. But if you say that as a startup I should start putting a lot of technology stuff, it is not required. You just need a website, you need a social media accounts, boom, go ahead. But I've seen a lot of people who heavily invest in beginning itself in technology, and then when you have a startup, you always have an MVP, minimal viable products. At that point in time, for MVP, your investment should be minimum. But the people start using technology so heavily that their investment becomes huge, and then they cannot close it. They have to sustain it, and that's where businesses. That's where your business or your startup goes into a liability rather than getting into assets.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So, as Dhanakshmi asked this question, that how do you inculcate technologies in this? Basically, there's a saying in English that you have heard. Mostly people have heard that necessity is the mother of invention, and that's the reason technology was being introduced to the world. So now coming to the question, how technology can be innovative for the small and medium scale businesses. We can understand that when it's a big scale business, you can definitely do something. But when you start a smaller medium scale, you always have your own idea. Then how do you can innovate and or introduce new things with the help of technology in them?
So it all depends on the kind of business or kind of ideation you have. There are certain ideas which are very based on a lot of use of technology, and there are some ideas which are not using technology at all. Like if you are going ahead with, say, let me take a simplest example. If you are going to, there are a lot of baking companies coming up, right? So if you are going in for the baking company, you might not need that much technology from a digital perspective, other than just branding and managing. What you will need is how you are going to do mass production when you reach to a level, right? So for that you need equipments. For that you need IoT, maybe IoT based equipments. You need to understand that I want to make sure that I can automate the entire manufacturing cycles of certain kind of breads. So when I want to optimize it, that means I have to use technology based solutions, wherein I will have IoT being set up for weights, for IoT being set up for temperature control systems, and I want, no one to touch my product when it is being made. So I will make it completely automation. So that is one kind of technology they are going to use. But innovations are not related to just technology. It can be in manufacturing. But yeah, you can say one thing is technology will bring more more shine to your innovations, because everywhere today we are using a lot of IoT platforms, a lot of technologies. So let it be manufacturing, it can be as basic as I said, it's baking, right? It's as basic as baking. So we are using technology everywhere, but how much amount of technology we have to use, that we have to see. Whether I want to use digital, whether I want to use something which is complementing my manufacturing process, something which is complementing my services prospects, or something which is going to help me bring more customers. So these are the different areas where you are going to allocate your digital or your innovation funding, and how this innovation will shine by use of technology. That's what you need to see.
Yes. So that was a very, sorted answer. Like where to put your technology first is also a real question. Like whether you should put it into the marketing or whether you should put it into the manufacturing. But sir, when we strategic plan something, like we have planned that I have to put this in digital marketing or either I have to put this in a manufacturing. But sir, how do we put that strategic planning into a plan of action? Like how do we take all that theory and put it into the practical implementation?
So, when you say practical implementation, see, I personally feel that when we are doing strategic planning, or when we are setting up these steps, we generally don't put generally the problem comes is we don't put the timelines to it. Okay, we are doing a proper one by one. We are doing one by one step, but at our leisure time. So first thing is put timelines to it. If you don't put timelines, you're not going to go ahead and say that, okay, at this point in time, my requirement is I have to put money into manufacturing. Till this time, I was just getting the orders. I got 100 orders, and now I have to start putting it into manufacturing. I've got 1,000 orders. Now I have to automate it,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So when you are setting up your timelines, maybe you can say a timeline or maybe a mid objectives. That is the point where you have to start planning for your action. So one place you start planning for the action, and one place you start doing that actions. So as I said, 1,000, I cannot I cannot do it myself. I cannot make myself. I need people, right? So I'm going to invest in people. If it is 10,000 pieces a day or 10,000 pieces a month, I cannot have 100 people doing it, right? So I have to automate it. So you have to put the mid-level objectives to switch your gears, saying that switch your objects, switch your financials, or switch your technology stack. So at a point in time, if you've got a 10,000 customers, you will see why I should just go ahead with um, digital agencies, or rather e-commerce marketplaces. I will have my own market or a storefront. Maybe I will have a physical storefront to start with, or then I will have a digital storefront to start with. I'll have multiple channels. So at every these levels, your technology differs. So you have to plan that way. Your technology differs, your financials differ. So these are the triggers, small triggers where which you have to plan. So I cannot say in 10 days I'm going to do this, but yeah, this objective I'm going to do this. So that's where you divide your expenses. That's where you plan. Now I have to start something in the manufacturing side. Now I have to start something in the digital side, right? That's where your ideology and brain comes into picture. That's where you start figuring things.
So as so you currently, as we are having a discussion over the topic of planning and execution, implementation and inculcation. So these are like, as Dhanlakshmi asked this question, that difference between the strategic and the action plan. But when coming back to the technology thing, basically, as I'm more of a technical person, coming back to the technical thing, I'll ask you that how much is it important to plan the implementation and inculcation of the technology in the business? Because if you, even if you think of bringing a technology, it should have a plan to it. It should be implemented in a certain way. It's not like आपने technology लाके दे दिया खत्म होगा. There should be a
Correct.
particular way wherein it should be inculcated so that it becomes easy for the business also. Or else sometimes I think so it's also a case wherein if you just introduce the technology in your business, it might also bring you a loss. So how much is it important to plan the implementation of technology?
So today, to be very frank, using technology has become much more easier than the way it was earlier. With the advent of cloud and minimal viable products you can get into a store. You get SaaS products where you fail very often and then again stand up and go ahead and use other products. So see, when you say it has to start, it has to be, your technology has to be embedded in the DNA of the organization. How you do it is your employees should be, connect with the technology what you are using, right? That's the first part. If your employees are not going to adopt it, your technology digitalization framework has failed. So it starts from there. You have to train, you have to coach them, you have to mentor them. It starts from people who are on the top, start using the technology, and then they propagate down. But the major cases, what happens is the top brass doesn't even know how to use the technology, what they are planning to implement it. They themselves will think, okay, this is not my work. I have to, pass on to the people and they will do it. But that's not the case. It starts from the top and it ends to the lowest level of your organization. Then your technology can be easily implemented. So number one is the adoption across the organization. Number two is I completely agree. Wrong technology is going to bring losses, and that's the reason we always say that you need to understand your needs and wants, right? Your wants might be, the causes for your losses, right? Certain things you might not even need it. You still do, you will still go ahead and do it because it's what you want. So you have to understand between your needs and wants. Ultimately, to be very frank, the research makes research and building the base or the framework where you are saying going to say that you're going to have 10 business needs. It's the most important thing because when you do a requirement gathering across your organization, I don't know your business, right? As a vendor, he doesn't know your business. He doesn't know your processes. He doesn't know your manufacturing processes. So you have to document everything to make sure that you build a proper knowledge repository for the technical guys to understand. So when they understand that, okay, this is the functional thing which I want to convert into digital counterpart, then they can offer you a better solution rather than just saying that, okay, I want to do these five things. Just go ahead and do it. It's not going to work. You have to make sure that you do your analysis, do your research, build documentations, give those documentations to your partners, your technical partners, then they can give you better solutions. And if you've got a proper framework or a proper requirement gathering, you are not going to incur losses because then you take care that my business should not suffer at any point in time. My revenue should not reduce because, at a point in time, I don't have a resource who can handle that kind of a technology because I will plan that from a very beginning because I'm doing the requirements, right? So major areas where our Indian SMBs fail is understanding the requirements, documenting it, and then giving it to the technology partners. We are still in the phases where, based on product, we change our processes. It should not be like that. Based on our processes, we have to customize the product or choose the product. But in our industry, at this point in time, it is based on, okay, we have a vendor. Vendor says this is a good product, we'll go ahead with it. Vendor has its own thought process. It has got its own commissions on it, right? The maximum commission I have, I will sell that. That's what the vendor thinks. But the business is, it impacts business adversely, right? Certain things they might not even use it. So, from the perspective of bringing that entire entire technology into DNA, you need to train and coach and mentor your teams. And that can be done by the person who is it has to start from the top and then they have to propagate it. But to be very frank, at a point in time, SMBs fail to understand one thing is Google cannot tell you everything, right? You have to make sure that you evaluate, or if you can't, because see, everyone has got their skills, right? If a person who is in baking, he doesn't know about tech, right? He knows things about the baking technology, but he might not be able to add more to it. He can understand that, okay, this technology is going to help me in this process, but how I'm going to implement it? You need a tech advisors for that, right? So there is no harm in investing in tech advisors. If you are investing in tech advisors, they are going to help you with building the entire plan, building the entire business need analysis, research, everything they are going to do, and they are coming up with the best solution possible to you. Think about it, if an advisor can give you these are one, two, three, four, five, six things you can do. These are one, two, three, four, five, six vendor that sets your value and your budget propositions. Then how easy for him is to do this. I mean, accept or decide on it. Because I've seen majority of the cases, the first decision is, okay, I will go and ask my friend. He's going to help me with understanding what product I should buy. No, you have to tell him what product you need. What is your business processes? What you want to achieve by using the technology? Because majority of the cases fail because either they are taken by the reference from friends or by competitors or by or by some relatives or by some vendors. These technology transformations have majority brought a quick hitch into the business because they are not planned. They are bought based on the references. References does matter, but the first thing is your need analysis and how your technology is going to complement that needs. And for that, if you need a tech advisor, do invest in it because that's going to be a asset investment rather than a liability.
Okay. Sir, until now we covered launching, like building the brand. That would be the launch of the product. Then how to use the technology in the marketing or in the manufacturing. That would be our growth. Sometimes what happens, sir, let us consider a hypothetical scenario. We launch a product, it grows. Okay, sales is in hype, the product is hype, sales is in like shining colors and everything. But after some time, it just stops. The business comes to a decline. So we cannot say that it had been a sustainable growth. So like what kind of technology should be implemented in the small scale businesses so that the product should go sustainably and not just like hype and let just come down into the graph?
Yeah, so now we are talking about the specific in the cases of startups. Okay, so when we use some products or when we build some idea and launch into the market, definitely if the idea has got niche, it's going to give you a spike. Okay, then you reach to a top and then you start declining. But at a point in time, it has to be stable. Okay, you cannot have your peak as a stable peak, right? So when you come down, that has to be a stability to it. Now, why people are putting up the promotions, right? To achieve that sustainability, to achieve that growth again. So if you see, there is always uh, I was just looking at, say, certain company on an e-commerce portal. What they did was they have got every day of the week they've got a
Yes.
different offer on different products,
Yes.
right? So that all products are sustaining. So that they are just trying to sustain that their sales across all products are getting sustained. So when you are saying sustainability, it doesn't just come from a tech. It comes from your ideation, how we are going to sustain that particular product into the market. Because when you are going to launch, it's going to spike definitely. But at over a period of time, the sustainability it becomes कि हाँ ठीक है वो नीचे जा रहा है जा रहा है जा रहा है अभी अभी एक stable हो गया. Now you need one more spike. When you need one more spike, you can add some products. It spikes back again. So it is a continuous process where you have to use promotions. You have to use your new products being launched inside the entire set of products you already have, and then how you can touch base with your existing customers, reviews, a lot of things helps. But even at time people don't take reviews, but these reviews will help you, right?
Yes.
To change your business or change your products, add new products. So these are the things which will give you a sustainable, I cannot say sustainable growth, but it will give a sustainability to your product. Growth can be only when you run certain kind of promotions or you run certain kind of new products based on the market needs. Then only you will get more spikes in your business. But again, at a point in time, your spikes will level up, so you have to constantly looking at market, constantly research, constantly check for data points. You have what data, you use those data to build new products and services. So you have to constantly go into the market and do research, because at a point in time you have got say your sales is achieved, your peak is achieved. As an stakeholder, as a business owner, you have built processes and everything is happening in a autonomous mode. What work you will do, right? You will do this researches that will give you more businesses over a period of time. I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you definitely did. So before moving ahead and before understanding how strategic planning can be implemented in technology and how we can use strategic planning to implement technology, first of all, like I need to understand, sir. Like basically, it's on my personal question. I guess most of the viewers must be having the same question. That how do you differentiate between a small business, a medium business, and a big business? How do you make the differentiation between that? Big business is understandable that they have a big brand name, it is understandable that they have a very high advertising things and everything, but still when you come across small and medium scale business, how do you differentiate between them?
So I generally do it based on the turnover of the organization, because that's where your everything. I mean, your money matters, right? So it's based on turnover of the organization. So as per Indian standards, it's around 16 CR below or 15 CR below is the small businesses, and above 15 to some 200 CR or 50, yeah, 15 to 200 CR is the medium businesses, and 200 and above is the bigger businesses. So this is something which is based on what Indian SME industries standards have been. So, and if you say how much, I'm just answering an additional question you might have, how much we should spend in technology is generally when you are in SME or when you are a startup, your majority money, maybe 10 to 15 to 20% goes into tech. And as you grow to say 200 CR company, I would say 3 to 4% or 5% of your entire revenue should go in tech, because that will help them, grow further.
That exactly was my next question, sir. That how do you implement your percentage technology in small and medium? But I have one more question, sir, which is a little personal question. Nowadays, you given me the importance of feedbacks, but nowadays what businesses are doing is for to promote their product digitally, they are using the fake feedbacks from the customers, or like the manipulative feedbacks, not fake but manipulative feedbacks. But for on the other hand, sir, we do not know what are the organic feedbacks, because organic feedbacks is what actually makes us grow. So like which part should be used? Should we like use the organic feedbacks to grow our organization and our businesses, or like we should just use that manipulative feedbacks to grow it digitally?
See, what happens is, I completely agree. I see a lot of people who are selling likes to your Instagram pages, who are selling likes to your Facebook pages, they're selling reviews. So there are a lot of companies who get into these practices, Not advisable because it in the long term it's not going to give you feedback about your product. If your product is constantly failing in the market, it's going to decline its sale, right? So I generally feel it's if your company or if your products need these kind of paid reviews, it's better you concentrate on your product's improvement and spend the same money in your product improvement rather than getting into the fake or the manipulative kind of feedbacks. Reviews are important. At times you have to, our Indian community is not very fancy about reviews. Okay, so they won't give you a review unless you give them something. So you have to constantly, pass on certain uh, pass on certain kind of promotions to for them to give the feedbacks. But when they give feedbacks, it's really important for you to revert back to them, saying that okay, we've taken this into consideration, and you have to make sure that those feedbacks are taken very constructively. Because I've seen a lot of people, they have got control over their reviews on websites or reviews on e-commerce portal. They will not show those negative reviews at all, right?
Yes.
So when you show those negative reviews, that you are actually say making sure that okay, we are actually working on it, and we'll make sure that that product gets improved or service get improved. Number one, avoid having fake likes, fake reviews, because that's not going to give your company an organic growth. So if you're looking for organic growth, invest into your products, invest into getting the reviews from the customers, do researches, and on that basis you can come up with much better product and much better sales in the organic growth.
Okay, so basically, before moving ahead and before moving with our questions, we have some of the questions. So I guess this was one of the questions from Sneha Kamalpuria saying, how can technology be implemented in strategic planning? So yes, definitely, we have understood what is strategic planning. We have understood what is technology, but how do you mix up those two things? And like, how do you strategically implement a technology for the growth of the business, sir?
So exactly, that's what you say. That's what I think Dhanlakshmi asked me a question that when I
Mm-hmm.
should invest in what. That's
Okay.
exactly the strategic planning is all about. So you should be understanding that at this point in time, I'm going to embrace technology to grow further up. Okay, so that is what is the strategic planning all about. When you are planning your business strategically, you are making sure at each milestone you are going to do certain investments into certain kind of maybe manufacturing or maybe technologically embraced manufacturing or maybe digital marketing or maybe an e-commerce portal or maybe I'll have an ERP so that I can get a better analytics reports. So at every milestones, you take a decision that I'm going to move a step further in my digital transformation roadmap, right? So
Yeah.
that's how your business and your technology meets together when during strategic planning. Now there is something known as strategic planning for technology that is completely different. That is what I said. You do a research, and you do an analysis of your needs, then you do research on it, you build plans, and then you choose one plan which is the best suitable for your final objective, and that is a strategic plan for my technology. So I'll have a technology objective that I'm going to have. Ultimately, what I want to see is sitting in my office or sitting on my at home on mobile phone. I should be able to get all my business characteristics in a dashboard. Like what is my cash flows, what is my today's turnover, today's sale, what is my today's manufacturing. So everything I should be able to see in one screen on my phone. That's my ultimate objectives, right? So I have to reach that objective. I have got multiple paths to go ahead, right? So that's where things comes when you say strategic planning for technology, you plan from a basic need to an objective. And this is where I'm going to go, and this is going to be my path. And these are the milestones where I'm going to go a step further in my tech.
Okay, so yes. So I hope Sneha must have got her answer. So coming down to one more question that is from Shubhi ma'am. She has majorly asked us a question. Just one, like I have missed her question, I guess. Um, yeah. Yeah. So can you share an example for data points, sir? She has asked a question wherein she has been asking an example for data points.
Okay, so data points in terms of okay, let me just say
Organic data
okay,
points, I guess.
okay, so
Yeah.
organic. I think the question may be towards uh, data points for the researchers or data points from the analytics perspective. Let me just take a liberty to put it in that way because the question is slightly too much open-ended. So when you say data points now, when you're a startup, your data point is what? You've got your data point saying that okay, industry, what is my industry standard for this particular product, right? I would just go ahead and say that what is the this is what I'm going to say that okay, I want to sell a product. What is going to be the industry standard for this product, right? What is going to be marketing data point for this particular product? What is going to be the price point at what I can get the maximum traction, right? Or maximum sale. These are all research data points where you are going to start with when you're going to start with your products. Or suppose I'm starting with a business services company. I'm going to understand that for this particular service, who are my competitors? How much they are charging? What are their services? How much time they are spending? What are the resource requirements for this? So these are all data points when we are doing planning. We go ahead and do the research. If there is something else Shubhi madam is looking for, just ask her to put it in the comment and you can pass it on.
Surely, sir, I'll do that. So there's one more question we have received from Abhinay Kardile. He's asking that, sir, in startups, sometimes strategic planning doesn't work out at the time at that time. How to cope up, especially like we don't get easy clients, so any new techniques for it. So like if there is a strategic planning which doesn't work at the moment of time or at that particular period of time. So how do you attract clients at that moment, at that period to give stability to this to your business?
So then you have to change your course of action. I mean, if you're strategic planning, that means you have the plan what you have choose needs more optimization. Okay. So now saying so that suppose I have taken one marketing plan to sell certain products to the market, I'm not getting customers out of it. That means what you have chosen is wrong. You have to rebuild your marketing strategy, right? See, when you're a startup, it depends on your products as well. If it's a FMCG product or if it is a B2B product. Uh, Majority of the B2B products, you have to build your network. Uh, you will get a lot of traction from your network itself. So if you are, say, suppose a company who does sell business products like say cell phones. Okay, there is a consumer market, there is a B2B market as well. If you're just targeting B2B market, that means you need some good connections who can buy your products in the business segment. Like if you suppose you have got you get into a commercial laptop series, selling commercial laptops in the market, then you cannot go into the consumer market saying that you sell one laptop. You have to sell 100 to one of the businesses, right? So you need that connect, right? So that means if you are going to say that, okay, I'm going to do the same thing what I'm doing in B2C for B2B, that's not going to work. That means your marketing strategy is wrong. So you need to work on if you are not getting the traction from the businesses or you are not getting traction from the market, that means you need to remold your strategies. There is no way out of a strategic planning. If we are saying that, okay, my business is not working, uh, then what should I do from the strategic planning perspective? You have your plan, you choose your plan, but it's not working. That means you need to rework on those plans. Maybe one of those plans which you made earlier, or the part of those part which you made earlier might make relevance right now because we are in a scenario where things are changing very fast, right? Across the industries, across the businesses. across technology. It's like uh, every week you are getting something new. So you have to you have to keep an eye on saying that okay, my product is going to work in what fashion. If if today I'm not getting customers, that means I'm definitely doing something wrong. And you have to find that doing something wrong, and you have to build a plan and strategy to correct it. That's what I can say.
Okay. Sir, my next question would be, we have covered almost everything from launching the product to its growth, to its decline, to its again and sustainable growth. We have a strategic planning for everything. But sir, when it comes to real life implementation, how do we exactly check that our strategic planning is working well or it's not working? Like how do we check the effectiveness that what we have planned and what we have executed, is it working in the same direction or not?
So this is what the question, which what was questioned earlier, that suppose things are not working out in the marketing, then what? So it's not that you build a strategic plan and you just forget about it, right? You have to put the way you're putting your milestones, you have to put your review milestones also. That I'm going to keep on reviewing my plan, say every 2 months. Is it going on course or not? Or it is deviated? If it is deviated, then you have to do some corrective measures to bring it back to the course. Or if that change of the course is good for you, then you might have to replan your strategy according to that. So it's not something that you cannot just keep on going. You can build one strategy, and then you can keep going on it. So, say suppose you build a strategy for sales target of say 10 lakhs, but at a point in time your sales target reach 100 crores. The
Hmm.
strategy has to be change based on that. So it's the way you have got your step up milestones. You have to bring your review milestones as well. That I will review my business strategy at every point at this point. Suppose at a point say 10,000 customers, I've reached 10,000 customers. I have to see whether I'm able to reach to a 20,000 customer mark or not with the same course, or I'll go back and see that what I had planned, I was able to execute or not, right? So your reviews are must from the future as well as from the past perspective. So you cannot just follow one path over the entire course of your business life cycle. You might have to change it, but to change it, you have to review it at every intervals.
Yes, sir. So I guess there's also similar question again. Sneha had asked that what is the appropriate time frame to implement a strategic plan, which includes technological advancements, like how frequently it should be implemented, a monthly, quarterly, or annually basis. So I think so. Sneha must have already got her answer, and I guess before this also, Abhinay sir must have also got her answer for the question. We have question from Sandeep Russell sir, and he's asking he has a very technical question according to me. So he's asking that if MSME has to be competitive, they need to go for a world class manufacturing tools like CIM, rapid prototyping, SMEDs, FMS, ASAS type, ERP, etc. What is being done to bring awareness amongst them?
So I think there's a lot of from our perspective. I've seen a lot of company, a lot of organizations like uh, small and medium. There is an SME chapters or CII chapters in India, in Mumbai, who are constantly having their webinars on different technology stack they can use for different businesses. But when it comes to awareness, still we don't have one platform which can create these kind of awareness for MSMEs. Number one reason being the MSMEs, micro and small businesses, I would particularly talk about. Medium businesses still they think about having consultants and tech advisors. But for small and micro and small businesses, they are not yet into a framework to hire or work with technical advisors. Definitely because of the cost factor, because of the value engineering, what they think. But yeah, there is awareness requirement, and that's how I'm here on discussing these things with you guys, right? So this is going to go on the social media platform as well. And if you see, I have started a bit in doing these kind of awareness programs on my YouTube channel as well. But point is, there is no awareness for small and medium businesses when it comes to use the strategy planning or when it comes to use that what kind of technology they should use. Yes, they have to be. There are the government has to put this in place, but there is no such things happening in the Skill India program as well, because Skill India program is to make a person sustainable using certain kind of skills. But when it comes to MSME, there are chapters like CII. There is an SME chapter of India. They are doing a lot of these kind of activities. But again, those are vendor-based activities. So to be very frank, there is no channel uh, which is an independent review channel or independent awareness channel for this MSMEs. Definitely, there is an area where people can work and come out with certain kind of training programs. There are IITs and IIMs and there are ISBs who are doing these things. But to be very frank, it is more from the perspective of how you can grow your business, not just making them understand that how technology can grow their businesses. So, to be very frank, I don't see much of awareness programs happening across in India for MSME sectors, and there is no interest also by the stakeholders and the business owners to learn these kind of skills, how what and how what technology and how they can use this technology to bring it up. What they need is, to be very frank, an accounting software which does their accounts, an email, and a cell phone, and a WhatsApp to do their businesses. That's it. So there has to be a change from their thought perspective also. You can't help people who don't want help, right? So if you need help, you have to outspoken saying that you need help, and then maybe government can plan something around.
Like sir, just you said that you cannot help those people who doesn't need, who doesn't like to be helped. Similar on the same basis, our directors are always says to us that you can bring your host the water, but you cannot make him drink.
Exactly.
So
Even if you have got awareness programs, that how many people are going to connect and see those awareness program and going to take the knowledge back? That's also a question. But yeah, that's what we see. That if you don't need it, you will not do it. If you need it, you will definitely do it.
yes. Also, sir, like I would ask this. This is a personal question. Like, what do you believe in? Do you believe in strategic planning, or like you believe in more of its execution? Like you are saying, you are
I,
doing
I,
YouTube videos, and you are saying
I,
you are also
I
doing this.
plan on both of the things. Okay.
Okay.
Your strategic planning and your stick to that plan and do executions and review it. It's these are hand in hand, right? If I'm going to build a strategic plan and if I'm not going to execute in some third way, it's not going to help my business, right? So we plan it and we execute the same plan, then only it's going to help us. Otherwise, it's not going to help us. So I believe in both of them, but there has to be a review, or there has to be a pattern where you review these things. You review and then you change your course. That is very important when you are doing see, planning is one thing, and when you execute, you get a lot of roadblocks, you get a lot of bumpy rides, right? So how you are going to go ahead and um, uh, face that and go ahead with the keeping the course as the same. At times you might have to take a detour to achieve certain things, which was not planned. But yeah, that is an experience what you have got now. So next time you plan the next phase of your strategic plans, you will take those things into consideration. So these are all whenever you fail in your strategic plans, those are all experiences which is going to help you build better plans over a period of time. So it's like machine learning. You give more data, it gives you more accurate results. So it's like you give more data to your brain, better strategic plan comes into the place. But plan with no executions will not help. So for me, it's 50-50 for both of them.
Okay, sir. Yes. So basically, I guess that's very much correct, because if you only plan, you can't execute, and if you don't execute, then it's of no use. But if you just execute without a planning, that it might lead to a failure. So it's
Correct.
very important to have a perfect balance of both the things. Now, again, moving to the comment section, we have got a comment from Ritika Jain saying, she has very correctly stated that one size doesn't fit all, and it's similar in the technology. One product or process won't doesn't fit all the businesses. You have to adapt different technologies and different things for a different businesses. So next question there is again from Shubhi ma'am, and she has asked what support government is giving in policies for post COVID for startups. So as you said that there are no much awareness camps, but when you talk about government, so what is the support that government is giving in terms of policies, or what have they done post COVID for the startups? Because when during the startup most of the people lost their job, so people came up with new and new ideas, and when people started coming up with new ideas, they started new startups. So if you see, though in the lockdown period there has been a lot of job losses, but also there has been a sustainable growth in number of startups that have been started in India. So what is government doing, or what are the policies that government has introduced for them?
So I think governments have already have their startup programs from very beginning. So I think they've changed certain characteristics or certain limitations to that. So earlier there were certain limitations from the processing those applications for startup fundings and things like that, but they have relaxed those terms. They have There is not something which is very specific to startup they have launched. Nothing in my research or my thoughts, or nothing which has caught my eye. But yes, I completely agree. There are a lot many people who have got lot many ideas during pandemic, but those majority of their ideas were related to situations in pandemic, right? How they are going to be relevant when we are off this pandemic, we don't know. Okay, still we are in state of pandemic for a year and a half. Maybe these things are going to work the way it is working right now. But what after pandemic? What kind of thought process they will have after the pandemic? Or is just the case when there are lot many startups which are built only for pandemic? Just do it and forget about it once the pandemic is over, right? So yeah, there are a lot of startups, but how many? I mean, we know the way if you see in India, there are very few startups which has reached to a unicorn level, right? So we cannot have thought process that once which is started right now is going to reach to a unicorn level or not. But to be very frank, government is helping a lot. Government is helping. There are certain personal VC fundings. There are certain there are group companies who are doing their fundings based on these products, based on their SMEs requirement. Like if you see banks, they've got certain requirements um, of some kind of a business idea which exactly fits to their requirements. They will just go ahead and fund those companies. So it is not just I feel the things which are built in pandemic, I'm not sure how they are going to get relevant later on. But if they've got planned for the future as well, definitely there is a lot government can help with. There are certain startup fundings, then there are certain small and medium businesses fundings which comes through the banks. So yes, there is a lot of help coming in from the government. Pandemic or not, it was earlier as well, but due to pandemic, they have relaxed certain terms and conditions for these kind of loans and fundings. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, that I don't know how much these pandemic startups are going to go ahead from once we are in normal situation.
Yes, sir, exactly. So that is something being an MBA student. This is something which is being taught to us, that the keep going. Like you have to the business should be it shouldn't be ending. So whenever you start a business, you think of it becoming a unicorn, such a big business, and you have to keep on changing the processes for it. You have to keep on adapting to the technologies. So there is one more question saying that definitely when you have a startup, when you start doing something, initially you can start on your, but over the period of time you need to start getting employees for yourself. You need to get people who will do work for you, and you just need to set and implement your technologies. So again, the question is related to the government. So what is the push from the government, that how are they motivating employees? Moreover that, how are they motivating employees? Moreover that, I'll ask you, how can the employees be motivated to work with the startup? So even if this is one more question, like whenever we talk on personal basis also, if we talk about us as students also, we want big companies for us to we want ourselves to be working in a big MNC companies. We are not ready to work with the startup. Though startup is the one thing wherein you can learn a lot of things, and you can be master of all the trades if you start working with the startup. So how an employee or how a fresher should be motivated to work with a startup, or should be motivated कि आपको इनके साथ काम करना चाहिए, it will be beneficial for you. How can employee be motivated to work for a startup or small scale businesses?
So, see, you can't motivate a person against their financial goals. Okay, number one. There is always we even when we move out of the college, we also thought that okay, we'll join some corporate and live a life happily ever after. If that is the case, you cannot motivate that person. Okay, he's got set goals about his life. But yeah, there are a set of people who understands what technology or what startups brings to their knowledge books, right? So what we need to do is there will be at least 10 to 12% or 15% people who are ready to work with startups just to do the learnings, right out of the college. So if the person is out of the college, the kind of knowledge he gets in a startup is much more than what you get it in a corporate, right? Because in corporate you work like this, in the startup you work like this. Your view pan is 360 degrees. In startup, it's just you are looking at the straight, you are being asked to do something and you're doing it. So there is no such motivation you can give it to employees. But yeah, you can talk to them as a startup founder. You can talk to them. If the person is very good, maybe you can over a period of time you can make him a co-founder, make him part of your organization's board at a point in time. So these are the things you can do to motivate that person to stick around. But as a government, they are just thinking from they are actually helping companies to do the startups just to bring more employments in the market. But as you say that you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. It's the same thing, right? Everyone has their personal aspirations, right? Some have financial, some have got knowledge. So people who have got knowledge as their aspirations in their initial period of time, they will always go ahead and they will not see the size of the organization. I have seen people who are, coming out of the college and joining smaller companies, although they are toppers in their batches, right? Because they want to have knowledge, they just don't want to have money. And yeah, they've encashed it over a period of time that after a few years they got a lot of knowledge and then they join the corporate on a bigger positions, right? So you cannot ask, you cannot, uh, change someone's or motivate someone to join startup. It has to come from their within. We cannot do that. Even government cannot do that. But yeah, government helps them to, give them funding so they can pay at least minimum wages to the employees. So that's how it is. That's what I feel, and I'm sure there is a lot of startups comes at the end of their list of employment. Anyone who comes out of the college, and it's not wrong also. But yeah, if people are knowledge hungry, startup is the best place, and small companies are the best place to join and work.
Yes, sir, as our this session is also the awareness program, I would ask this from the viewer's point of view, like what social media tools and analytics are that can be used in the small businesses, like in the present case scenario.
So it depends again. It depends on your kind of products or kind of services. If you are into B2C, you have got of Instagrams, and you've got Instagram, you've got e-commerce portal like maybe Amazon, Flipkart, Facebook. Facebook store, Instagram store. These are the ones which you can use from the perspective of digital marketing. When it comes to B2B, it is slightly different. You can do Instagram also, you can do Facebook also, but the value you will get is more from the LinkedIn, because that will give you B2B connections. That will give you, see, when it's B2B, it all depends on the connections you have with the customer, right? So you need to go ahead and tap the exact nut where it's going to work, or you have to tap a place where they are going to help you with getting inside that B2 into inside that organization. So there are also certain tools available in the market which helps you define who are the target audiences for you, who are the target person you should go ahead and talk to in each of the organizations. So there are certain tools which will help you build the target audiences for the consumer market. So to be very frank, and these when you say Facebook and Instagram, they have got their own reporting system, right? So and those are more than enough for a startup to work. You don't need to have fancy things coming in. But yeah, if you want to go for the fancy things, yes, there are definitely plugins and automations available. But I personally feel when you are doing these kind of what you say, this kind of marketing activity, avoid using automations because that will block your account. Because the social medias are completely anti bots. They don't want bots to work. They want humans to go ahead and look at it. So, and number two is avoid inorganic growths like forced growths. That's going to hamper your brand. So don't do it that way. Have an organic growth. You might have less, but over a period of time, that organic growth will multiply on its own. So have some patience and faith. It will definitely work because when we are in startup, what we lack is the patience. So you have to be patient when you are into business, and you have to remember one thumb rule: it takes 1,000 days to set up a business.
Yes.
If it doesn't work after 1,000 days, go ahead and do something else.
Definitely, sir. So that is something that's a kind of a threshold wherein if it doesn't work for 1,000 days, then you need to look for an alternative. So basically, sir, this is my particular thought process that whenever a technology is being introduced, some manpower is being reduced. Like you require technology is basically introduced to ease out a particular person's work and also to reduce the manpower. जहाँ पे 10 आदमी काम कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे 2 आदमियों के काम में हो जाना चाहिए चीजें. But then comes the question of the employment. Does it affect the employment of a particular age group or of a particular set of people? Because if there's a person who is of a age around 45-50 who is not able to cope up with the technology, and there are some newcomers, so it might be a thing that if a company introduces a technology, freshers like me will be more adaptive to them. Then is it like the people who have been working with the company for more than 20-25 years, giving their everything to the company, but then due to the introduction of the technology, they have to leave the company because they can't cope up with the technology. So how do you tackle these situations?
So see, number one, uh, throwing out the experience is never going to replace your tech. Okay, even to run those technology, you need people who are experienced, who can, tell you that what is going to be right if you are going to use this kind of technology. So only thing is we have to move them in a role where they are more of a consulting rather than they are doing the real on-field job. But yes, definitely there will be some reduction in the workforce who are not adaptive to the changes, who are not ready to learn, who are not ready to change. Because I personally feel even today, even if you have got 2 years of experience, even if you are a fresher, every day you're working on something which is new. They agree that at a point in time, at the age of 40 or 45, 50, they have got a stagnancy in their on their thought processes that अभी मैं क्या सीखूंगा. But I personally feel there are tools available. I've seen people who have learned C sharp and Java at the age of 55 also. You know, so it is that personal decision to make for them. that if you want to be relevant in the market, you have to be learning technologies, right? You, you at least should know how to use them. You might not be able to use it. You might, no one is going to ask a 50-year guy in India to write a Java code unless he's been working in past 50 years. But he has got immense knowledge of business processes, right? He's got immense knowledge of what kind of technology, what kind of business processes will be compatible to our technologies. So the experience never gets into the vein. So, but yeah, but you have to keep on working, keep on learning new things which are coming to the market. Now, I don't want a person who is into manufacturing to learn technology which is in the digital marketing. It makes no sense for him. But for him to understand that how CNC is going to work is more important than how digital media is going to work,
Yes.
right? So it is. I personally feel that it's not best thing which fits all, but everyone has to keep on learning. If they don't learn into their path of life or their path of expertise, they are going to get irrelevant. People who are going to be irrelevant, they are going to be get sacked off when the technology takes their work. So my only thought I want to transpire is keep on learning new things in your areas of expertise. It's never going to, make you irrelevant to the organization. You have to keep on doing that. If you are not doing it, then you are in redundancy list.
On the similar line, I would like to add just a little point. Yesterday or like day before yesterday, I was reading an article by of a founder of a tech-driven company, and he just mentioned one sentence there that the people or the employees should understand that technology has been introduced in the company to help them and not to replace them.
Correct. Correct. They get replaced only when they become irrelevant or they are reluctant to changes.
Yes. So it was his motivation speech, and then it got printed in the newspaper. But that was the line that stayed with me. Like, you should not resist to the change. You should adapt to the change. And on the
Exactly.
similar question, I would on the similar line, I like to ask one question, sir. Is it very hard for a traditional company to shift into the technology-driven company, like a company which was firstly working on a traditional plan of action, and like suppose in the pandemic they want to shift to the technology thing? Is it really very hard, or like it could be an easy flowing change?
See, every change is a hard change, right? So when you are a core traditional company, and tomorrow if you say, okay, we need to move to a digital transformation, so it depends on personally feel it depends on the average age of their employees. What is the average age of their employees? How open to the changes they are. They might have done certain since it's a traditional proven business, they've got a very strong business processes. Okay, the strong business processes does not mean it is best practices in the industry today. So how they are ready to change to the best practices which is happening in India, which is happening across the industry. So that makes very important decision by the stakeholders to make. Moving to digital transformation from a traditional approach, it is hard because you have got certain kind of thought processes which are being inculcated from years and years into the business. To change that thought process and come into a digital thought process, it's going to be slightly difficult. I've seen organizations head who don't even check emails. They get the printout of their emails on their desk and they will just write with the pencil that okay, you answer this and they give it to their PA. I've seen that kind of people. I have seen companies or the owners who doesn't know the difference between an CIO and an IT administrator. So this is going to get changed over a period of time. But then it is difficult from the perspective of traditional businesses because they have worked in certain way of working over a period of time. They have to think about if they want to do digital transformation, they have to think from the perspective that if they want to grow business, they also need to change their thought processes. it's thoughts, and it's the ability to work on an agility of the business processes to the best practices. These are the two most hard part for a traditional business to move into the digital space. So it is not hard if the people are ready to change, people are ready to align to what industry is. But it is very hard when people are, saying that no, this is my business process, and I'm not going to change it under any circumstances. So that's going to be a bit hard for them to digital space.
Yes, so as this is something that also in a comment section is mentioned that through the change is hard, but it is necessary, and change is the only constant that you need to do. Until unless you don't change, you there will be a point if you keep on sticking with the traditional thing. Yes, definitely. There is a thing that old is gold. You can definitely stick to the traditional, but in this fast moving world, if you don't keep yourself up with the technology, you will be out. You will be out of the competition, and you will be like just lying there. Then there might be a point wherein you think ki, "Arey, yaar, technology, we should have used technology and we should have moved ahead with that." So there is
Correct.
one more question. There is one more question that how do you bring idea into the mind of the venture capitalists?
That's completely different. It is, I mean, completely different from the talks we have. But see, when you say VCs, uh, they are they're a bit different about when they are looking at your ideas. Okay, so ultimately, what happens is how much amount of acts you are going to give it to their investments. That's what they are looking at. They are if your idea is good, if it is fitting into their portfolio, they will go ahead with it. But at the end of the day, what they want is how much X growth you are going to give it to them. Because if VCs they get convinced from the niche of idea what you are giving, something which is not there in the market, and you are giving them, and in the growth. So it does not mean that every niche will have a growth, right? So they are looking for when they are investing in you, they are actually doing something which is with a very high risk. So their returns what they are looking at is also very high. So when you are putting up ideation to the VCs, it is number one, it has to be the niche to the market. What is new you are giving to the market, and what is the number of X growth you are going to give it to them. That's what is going to interest them.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, sure.
Uh,
I'm not a VC. I'm not consultant to the startups from the VC perspective, but this is what I have seen in the market.
yes. So we were talking about the resistance in the employees, and they're how they are not ready to adapt to the new technologies and etc. Sir, is there any kind of a training program, or is there something like the solution to this problem, like what we can do, either employ a training program, or like we can talk to them, like how can we change the situation if the employees
So
are resisting?
so it is see it is you have to lead by example. So if your top brass is not using that technology, the people below you are not going to take it very seriously, right? If you are saying that okay, I want a dashboard and it should be accurate, then they have no other option but to feed in the accurate data in the ERP systems, right? If they want to feed the data in the ERP system, I'm giving them all the training, mentoring, coaching, everything. So it starts from the top. I mean, if the top is saying, अच्छा ठीक है उसको छोड़ दो तो मैं एक Excel में बना के दे दूँ मुझे चलेगा, it's not going to work. So it has to come from the top, number one. Now, there can be different ways of doing it. You start with, training them, mentoring them, coaching them over a period of time. But if the person is not ready to change only, then you have to put KPIs on him from his performance perspective. That boss, we have given you all the coaching, training, everything. Now, these are the KPIs associated with technology which I am giving you, and you have to use it, and how effectively you are using it. These KPIs are going to tell. So once you put a KPIs to it, a measurable growth to it, they will definitely think about, okay, no, now I'm going to get measured for my next promotion cycle or next, increment cycle based on this. So they will definitely work towards it. So it is we should first try to make sure that we give them training, coaching, mentoring, you know, tell them how it's going to help their in their personal growth and businesses. But at a point in time, if that doesn't work, then the only way to do is, connect your KPIs to it. It's a forced way, but
Okay.
practically that's the way you have to.
Definitely, I guess there from this we come to an example of carrot and stick policy. You have to give sticks to your employees so that they can earn carrots for themselves.
Correct.
Uh, so definitely, sir. There is one a bit technical question. As I said, I belong to a technical background, so there is one thing which I keep on asking people, that whenever there is an introduction to technology, majorly the people why they are not ready, or one of the challenges which I feel is that they feel that the security or the privacy is at stake when you introduce technology. There are something your personal data might get leaked, or your bank information might get leaked. So this might be also one of the challenges that people the majorly the businesses fail, because of it they are not ready to go towards the technology. So how would you educate them? How would you basically educate them? Because if you take into the picture of the rural areas, where there are where there is a more need of technology. Because when you talk about the metro cities, people by default they are using technology. You make them understand 3 or 4 times, they definitely understand the thing. But when you go to the rural areas, you have to understand in a way different manner, so that they can understand why it is required for you, because there's a different set of mentality between the two set of people. So how do you educate the people from the rural areas to use the technology for the beneficial without being worried about the privacy and security?
So, see, number one, when you are going to a rural area, uh, the requirement is not from the perspective of how secure a product is. How user-friendly your product is, that's more important. Okay. Now, when it comes to security and privacy, it is the customer, it is the provider who has to, think that this data is mine for me and I don't have to lose this data, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, so if suppose when you go to the rural area, you have to explain them in their words, in their storytelling ways, that how this technology is going to help them. Okay. Now, when you say there are certain products which are in the market, which is actually there for the community agricultural programs. Okay. Now, if you see in rural areas, the youth is now started using Facebook, Twitter, and lot many stuff because they are now available in their own regional languages. So people have started using it. But I don't know. I've never faced this problem when you put the products in a rural market. They think from the perspective of data security or information security, because for them it is just one tool to understand how I'm going to work with my agricultural products. They don't know about data security, data security or data information security. But yes, there are certain compliances being built by government to make sure that their data is secure, or their personal data is being secure, or their information is being secure. So government is definitely taking a lot of interest in do the compliance and making sure that data is secured. But when it comes to the end user who are in tier 4, tier 5, tier 6 cities, or villages, they don't even care about information security, to be very frank. But that does not mean your product should not have it, because there are strict compliances by the government of India that to have certain security measures in your products, in your technology products. So definitely you have to comply there. And second thing is, what happens is when you go to the rural area, majority of the programs are through government of India, or center, the state governments. So you have no other option but to do the compliance to them. So if your product is not compliant, it is not going to them. It's as simple as that.
Yes, sir, definitely. So the question which Dhanlakshmi had asked previously, stating that what are the things that a company need to do to train their employees. Similarly, if I ask from a student's perspective or from a fresher's perspective, what a college or a business school must do to make their students a market ready, and they should be aware of these technologies when they go into the when they get into the corporate world, so they get edge over certain people or over the people who have 1 year of experience. Definitely experience can't be replaced, but if a person has a more technical advantage than a person who has been a bit of a non-performer or an average performer, you definitely get a push in the system, and you definitely get above them. So how do colleges need to take an initiative? How do colleges need to push their students, or how do they need to train their students for to be technically sound when they get into the market?
So I would say this way that there is radical change required from the perspective of the syllabus we have. Okay, our syllabus is more of theoretical rather than a research based. So when you say management studies institute, their their syllabuses should be more from the perspective of researchers. So you do research, you do build project plans. It should be the cases like you should be building at least 10 project plans a semester, right? Then you cultivate that kind of a mindset. Now, how the ISBs and IIMs work? They do the same thing. Every day you get one research paper to submit, right, on the topic. Similar thing has to be there on our syllabus. ऐसा नहीं है कि it is not there, but there's just one project I think at the end of the year, right, or end of the program. But how you can it's on the you have a syllabus, and how you can ask people to do research based on those syllabus that can be done by the professors and teachers of the management study school, so they can relate one chapter to saying that okay, you have to bring a do these kind of research to understand these theories, and then ask them to present those research. So one thing is definitely I've been telling to all my encounters to the management study colleges that you need to shift to a research based syllabus rather than just theory based syllabus. So that is one thing. Second thing is how you can encourage people to work on the startup plans. Just change one thing at the end of the year, what research you make or what project plan you make. Ask them to make a startup project plan. That will give them a spark to build the ideology, or how to do the brainstormings, how to bring the idea, how to set up an entire idea into a real project plan. Because ultimately, these project plans are going to be the case studies which you guys are going to work in the future, right? So as a management student, when it comes to the market, see, ultimately, if it's a corporate, it's going to be your role. Maybe you are into a space of what do you say, uh, research, or maybe you are getting into the space of reviewing products, or you are getting into the space of audits and things like that. So, if there are two schools of thought here, that if you are building if you are getting into a factory mode where you are giving industry what they need, these things works. But if you want that person to think strategically, or they have to take data driven decisions, you have no other point but you have to make them thinking in a research way. That they have to do research for anything they do in their lives, right? From finding the best laptops or finding the best cars to taking a decision at their workplaces. Everything has to be backed by research. Everything has to be backed by data points which comes out of those research. So this is what my take when it comes to management studies. As far as the technology institutes are concerned, uh, it is more of teaching them the relevant technology which are there in the markets. Because what I feel is we are still, again, it's a basis on it's on the basis of the syllabus which we have to follow. But then what additional you can do is it's a similar way. You give them a project to build, which is having actual value in your maybe in your college. You ask them to make an intranet portal, right? You ask them to make and support that intranet portal. Ask them to make a case study where they are going to implement um, automatically once a person joins into the system of the institute. Their email IDs and everything, Gmail or Google accounts are created automatically. So these are few things which they can ask the students to build. And when they have got that build mindset, when they come to the market, they understand that what I need to do when I am on a job. So you are giving them by giving them these activities, you're giving them an industry experience how you are going to do these things in a job or when you are in the industry. So in nutshell, I think there is a lack of kind of a research and industry kind of a knowledge when we are in the when we are studying. When we are out of the college, we are still a clean slate, and any company can write anything on it. That should not be the case. We should be coming out with from the college. We should be coming out with some specific skills, and then we have to take that skills ahead. So that's my thought on how institutes can improve their molding their students.
Definitely, sir. So this was a very useful input, and definitely being students of a management school, I will definitely put this forward to our management that these are the things which can be done for us, so that we are also pretty much market ready when we go down to the corporate world. So basically, majorly, I guess Dhanlakshmi is also done with her questions. I am also majorly done. Just one last request, sir, if there is any particular message you want to convey to the freshers or to the students who are currently working, or one particular thing that you would like to tell to someone, your message, sir.
So the students who are there in the uh, maybe on a first year or a final year, it doesn't matter. You are in college, right? So yes, you have to be having fun, but at the same time, you have to make sure that you are actually learning apart from what your college teaches you. Okay, I'm not saying that you go to the classes and do it. Learning can be reading books as well. You can build something of your if you're a management student from the day when you say that okay, I want to do this, I want to build this kind of an organization, and over a period of time, based on the syllabus, you keep on adding those things into your project profiles. And at the end of the year, you have your project ready, which is ready to execute in the market, right? So think from that perspective. People who are students, they think that it's just a one-way traffic. That teacher teaches us and we'll understand. That's not the case, right? You have to put your own efforts to understand things practically. They can give you theoretical knowledge, but the practicality which comes from your experience, you have to do it on your own self. And always have some amount of money even after you come out of the college for learning. It's very important. Out of your salary or out of your earnings, put some percentage behind saying that, okay, this I'm going to utilize it for over a period of time to do certain new learnings in my life. So always keep that some percentage of your earning
Yes.
for your learning. Okay, that is something which I wanted to transfer to all upcoming people. But at the same time, uh, whatever you do, research, research and think, ideate, then implement. These are the things what you have to do it in any course of life, right from studies to anything. I'm not just talking about the new businesses. I'm talking about even your day-to-day life. You should research heavily. You might be thinking it's waste of time, but that research is going to give you a lot of knowledge. Number two, present papers. Okay, build papers, present papers, and present papers for the topics which you don't know.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
but you have an interest in it. But you don't know, but you have an interest in it. So that is going to give you knowledge because you will do a lot of research to build a 10 minutes script or 10, 15, 20 minutes paper. So that is going to give you more understanding about your particular interest uh, and how you are going to convert it into your, monetary benefits after you come out of the college. So definitely go ahead. And if there are any paper competitions or there are any presentation competitions, definitely participate, because that's going to and take a, even if those topics you don't know about it, just pick one topic and learn things about it. That's going to add to your values. So, and also the presentation skills. So I think it's a win-win situation even if you don't know the topic. So that's what I want to transfer to the all students in the market.
Definitely. So this will be very useful for us as a student, so that we need to do these things. So with this, we'll like to bring into our session. A very thank you, Vinay sir, for giving us your precious time and sharing your deep knowledge with us, and guiding us with all your knowledge. Also, I would like to thank Shri Sunil Rane sir, Executive President of Atharva Group of Institutes, and Dr. R.G. Ratnawat, Director of Atharva Institute of Management Studies, for giving us this wonderful platform to interact with the masses. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal, Director of IQAC, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, AIMS, for connecting us with the intellectuals capital across the globe. Definitely, I'll be will be looking forward. Not only me, but definitely we'll be looking forward for many more sessions with you, sir, so that we can definitely keep our technical knowledge on up to the mark and use it whenever we are gonna start our startup. And definitely, Dhanlakshmi will like to definitely connect to you for her businesses. So
Definitely, definitely. And thanks, Atharva Institute. It's a good initiative you guys have taken. It's not just for the students, it's for the industry professionals also. So one of the way you can portray this is in, awareness programs for small and medium businesses, right? So thanks to Shubhi Madam. She's been connecting with me for a period of time. I think Shivang and Lakshmi, thanks for putting this up. And thank you, Mr. Rane. It's an amazing thought process to have these kind of programs which connects industry to the colleges, and this actually brings a lot of enthusiasm for us as well. Talking to people who are in the place where we were a few years back. So definitely, thanks a lot, guys, and definitely, I would love to host such kind of discussions in coming years as well. So yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks Atharva College of Atharva Institute of Management Studies, and I hope we will meet soon once this pandemic is over in face to face, because I always love to interact face to face rather than interacting on VCs. So definitely, once the colleges are start, you will see me there meeting you personally, and hope I will get some more knowledge sessions like these in coming months from you guys. And yeah, it was a well spent Saturday morning. Thank you very much, and see you around.
thank you so much,
Yes,
sir. Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much, sir.
Yeah, okay. Take care. Bye.
Take care, sir. Bye.
Bye, sir.